On tonight's episode, we talk about Ghosted.
And other pop culture news from the week. Alright, so this week we saw on streaming the new film Ghosted.
Yeah, Apple TV's Ghosted with Armas and Chris Evans. And jeez, there's so many other people, but I'm not gonna talk about that. It's a spy rom-com. It's fun.
Yeah, very, very funny.
It's very interesting. It's to be honest, I think it's Chris Evans on his element. I was never 100%. I was never game for him to be Captain America because he's Human Torch. He's a funny guy, and he does it very well. And he does this on this one. He's a boyfriend to be, a boyfriend, someone the girl is dating. He's an idiot, and he does it so well that Captain America. Yeah, right. So we have Chris Evans, and he as the lovable idiot, as the boyfriend, and we have Ana de Armas as a super spy, and she's definitely on top of her game. She's pretty, she's talented, she's been nominated for an Oscar, and after that or during that she was on a James Bond movie, kicking butts. Right. She was a Marilyn, nominated for an Oscar. And she's gonna be in Ballerina, a John Wick spin-off movie. Yeah. What else she could do? Fortunately, some might say, for her, she wasn't cast into a Marvel movie yet. Not that it's bad, Zoe Saldana was in like 4 of the 4 billion movies. But she's doing things on her own pretty much, even though she's working for the studios. She's not linked, she's not locked to a franchise or a big company property.
Right, but she's definitely a highlight in pretty much anything we see her in, and she's great as an action star. I think we all know how I feel about Blonde and how terrible that movie was. But she's really, really good at the whole action thing. And yeah, this movie definitely showcases both her and Chris Evans they're both just fantastic. Chris Evans' character is an idiot, but in like a really endearing, like lovable way. He's not like a bumbling buffoon. He's a farmer trying to make his way in the world and find true love, and he's doing it all wrong. Anyway, it's very, very funny. Great action, great mystery and intrigue and all that stuff. And it just comes together really well. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. The movie is available on Apple TV. It's fun. It's PG-13. It's great. I don't think they could make a sequel out of it, even though they end in a way that they could. But it's like, because you can only be the idiot so much, you learn, and he even if by the end of the movie he learned a little bit, he improved a little bit, and by he's not a complete idiot, but like on a fight, it's hilarious because on a fight scene, she kicked him on the leg so he would fall, so she could fight, so she could shoot people. So he's useless. So even though at the end that improves a little bit, to give them another movie, it would be, I don't know. I don't think that will happen.
Not everything needs to have a sequel.
And also the story, it's like the what made this story happen will be gone. Because the relationship was they trying to establish a relationship in the beginning, and throughout the movie a lot of things happen. At the end they get together, get happily ever after. So to go back to give them another story, I don't know. I think it was one and done, and it was not bad. It was good. It was funny. There's some incredible cameos. At some moment of the movie, and at the end of the movie,
truly marvelous. cameos.
Yeah, and then at the end of the movie, when you think, it's like the apex of action, and there's another cameo. It's like, what the heck? It's so crazy. It's like you think you're done because they have a whole sequence of cameos, and then the movie moves on, goes on, the story goes on, and at the end, one pops in the middle of the action. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. I was like, what? Anyways, you have to see it. You have to be there. But it's fun. It's funny. Apple TV under the Armas, Chris Evans, and what's the skinny dude?
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
And many more.
Yes. The skinny. That's a great way to describe Adrian Brody. Like capital T, the skinny dude.
Yeah.
There's no one skinnier, except maybe David Tennant. But anyway, yeah. Okay. There's a great lineup of season finales that we watched this week. They're very, very fun and intense. Well, did you want to say anything else about Ghosted?
No.
Yeah.
Ghosted is Apple TV Plus. Available everywhere. It's fun. You should see it. Yes. Yeah. This week was Superman week. I mean, not technically don't call it Superman week. It was a Superman anniversary. Yeah, the Man of Steel is alive and strong, and it's still a great icon example for truth, justice, and the American way. And it was celebrated in many venues, and there was released a special edition of the Superman movies in 4K. And of course you can watch Superman in many variations, many versions, from TV versions, from movie versions, from the new movie versions, and comic books are out there. There's like great ones, and we recommend, because up and away. And Superman is the first big is the biggest. And even though there was moments that there are moments in pop culture that justice is not done to the character, but the character is what's good in all of us. And what makes him strong is not the powers, but the way he was raised, what is inside him, and the American values that he got from his parents in Kansas, all that. And that shouldn't be old-fashioned. That should be the standard in America and in other good countries as well. So happy anniversary, Superman, and look forward for more. 85 years, something like that. 80.
Yeah,
no, he's past 80. He's getting close to 85.
He passed 85.
Yeah, he passed 85.
Yeah,
1938.
Yeah, he passed 85. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ghosted. No, we talked about that. Picard.
So we saw the finales of the shows, and let's start with the Mandalorian, because I like Picard better, the finale of Picard better than the Mandalorian. This season of the Mandalorian was like, first of all, it's like it had problems, and a lot of people are talking about the problems, but for me the biggest problem with the Mandalorian is after what you do at the last season finale, is like. You how you go from that, how you move from that, Luke Skywalker, the great Jedi Master, that everybody was expecting that on the sequels. It didn't happen. The sequels they threw out in the trash, but then Filoni finally does that on his show. And it was spectacular. It made people smile and cry and have all sort of good reactions.
So many feelings.
Even all the people that hate the sequels have to agree that finale of The Mandalorian was like, oh, that's Luke Skywalker. That's the real Luke Skywalker we know, we loved, and we respected for the sequels. How we go from there? How we move from that? It's a tough show to follow, tough act to follow. Yeah. So, okay. So then if you didn't watch The Mandalorian, there's the whole thing that you're gonna start watching The Mandalorian this season. And Grogu is there, but it's like, wait a minute, he left with Luke. So Disney created this thing that the Mandalorian was actually connecting mid-season in between two seasons for Mando developments. That's where he finds out about Mandalore and how what would be his next mission and what happened to Grogu, and nods to Ahsoka show that will come. And anyways, so there's all that, and then comes the season, which is a kind of going back to the Mandalorian or original season. He's a bounty hunter with his kid, so he's gonna try to do that. But in this one, he's gonna try to restore Mandalore, and there's like a bunch of cameos, a bunch of side stories, and we come to the end.
Yeah, and I feel like if we had just stick with like that main arc of the Mandalorian, the other Mandalorians trying to restore Mandalore, if we stick with that, I think you still have a really solid season and a good show. Those were all the highlights, and it was good. We get Bo-Katan, so Bo-Katan Kryze is now like he's brought her back, and now she's like reinvested in this dream of restoring Mandalore. And we're uniting Mandalorians from all over the galaxy, and it just builds and builds and builds. And Moff Gideon is back, who was like a really great bad guy. Dave Filoni is like sneaking in all of the Star Wars EU stuff that Disney said was Legends, but he's like sneaking it back into the canon in clever ways. And I honestly really enjoyed the finale, and it was great. The side stories throughout the season. There were episodes that just like dragged for no reason. They could have been a lot shorter, a lot more succinct, giving us more time with what we're really here for, the Mandalorians, I feel like.
Yes, you say plural?
Well, the name of the show isn't plural, but like the reason I watch the show is for the Mandalorian characters.
Well, technically, right? Mandalorian could be plural.
I guess so.
Because, American people.
Yeah.
The American. The Mandalorian people. But there's no debate about that. The show is about him. It was always about him.
Yeah.
If anything, drastic you could say is about Grogu, that he is, a future Mandalorian. The show is about.
Sure.
But he barely speaks, so I don't know if you could technically say he's the main character when he doesn't say anything.
No, Din Djarin is the main character.
But it's but if anything, the show ends it goes back to pretty much the very beginning. He's a cowboy in his ranch, you might call it, with his boy waiting for bounties, and they could either. Every time the show starts really small, with some hints and details about what's going on in the galaxy, and then it got big with Gideon and the Empire, and then comes Luke Skywalker and the Republic, and then the Mandalorians, and the rest of the Mandalorian, and then now it feels like he went back to the roots, the beginning, and then he's gonna stay on his side. I don't know, maybe fight crime syndicates and planet internal conflicts instead of fighting the Empire, which is it's just another kind of problematic when you have even the Empire's in shambles. Even it's not as big as it used to be, but. There's still generals, admirals, and people trying to keep it alive. Even though this is like, 10, 15 years after Return of the Jedi? So I guess it's like, it's big, it's small, it's not clear, because after so long, so immediately after the fall of the Death Star 2 and the Empire, the admirals got together and they tried to establish and save the Empire. And that's like the Dark Empire, the Thrawn trilogy, all the books. After so long, it's, I don't know. And he got involved into all this, and with the Mandalorians, and there was the Darksaber. and the chosen one to lead Mandalore. And if anything, he's past all that, and he's gonna go back to his normal life
Yeah.
with his neighbor Apollo Creed, and yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. There's room for more. There's gonna be a Mandalorian movie, but I guess you're gonna stay away a little bit from the big stage, even though he created a connection with the New Republic, and you're gonna be in touch. We'll see.
We'll see. I felt like this was a really nice, decisive, tidy series finale. Which, I mean, they could do another season, but they shouldn't. I feel like he ended it really nicely. Everybody's where they should be. Everybody came to a good place in their story arcs. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of development. And yeah, like you said, he's back where he wants to be. Because, like, he never really wanted to be part of these big fights, these big causes, right? He's just a simple man making his way through the universe and all that.
Yeah,
so
and now
I really like where they ended up. If we want Grogu to show up and other things, I mean, if they make more, I'll watch it, obviously.
yeah,
But
because
I think we should just
Din and Goku are kind of basically saving the whole sequel era. There's like already rumors that Grogu is gonna be a big deal in the new Rey movie, because she needs help, especially what happened in the sequels, and he's
It would be nice if
everybody
somebody
loves.
actually trained her.
Everybody loves
she
her.
spent time with Leia, but
Yeah.
like,
No, they're gonna skip all that. This is gonna be 15 years after the
I know,
sequels.
but I'm
She
saying,
is the
like,
master trained. She's the successful master that
Yeah.
Luke should be, and
But,
they,
like,
and they didn't.
but like Leia helped her out, but
Yeah.
but she never.
So is Luke.
But when did Luke actually help her?
When he trained on the Last Jedi.
Did he train her in the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Or did he just like tickle her fingers with the leaf and tease her and make fun of her?
Well, he was training her very. Well, I mean, according to the plot in the movie, he was training her very carefully because anything could take her to the dark side, and that almost happened in the movies a couple of times. The whole romance with Kylo Ren, and she's having visions of going to the dark side. So he was like being extremely careful and scared of training her. So he did train her minimally.
Because like Yoda saw Luke. Yoda knew that Luke was tempted by the dark side and all that, but he still taught Luke stuff about the Force. And like, here's how you use the Force, and here's what the Force is.
Oh yeah, no, Yoda trained Luke for years.
Yeah, Yoda actually trained Luke.
Between Empire and Return, there's like years.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying, this is my critique of the movies. Rey is very powerful, but somehow she's able to use all of these powers in incredibly refined ways without anybody really spending time teaching her how to use the
that's what
Force.
everybody calls her Mary Sue. It's like it was either the minimal training or she was naturally super powerful. Either way, it's problematic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about Mandalorian.
We were, and then you said that Luke trained Rey, and I was like, hold on, mister.
Well,
I wouldn't call that training. As an educator, I feel compelled to say that's not
training. If you teach someone 2 + 2 is 4, and the person or the kid didn't know before and now it knows, isn't that training?
Sure, but I feel like
the amount of training.
Maybe I've like blocked a lot of this movie from my mind, but I feel like Luke really didn't. What we got in.
No, they have a whole sequence. They sitting down and he's training her on how to meditate and use the Force. I guess you forgot.
So.
Anyways,
yeah,
which is forgettable. That
yeah.
movie sucks. Anyways,
I've blocked as much of those as I can from my mind.
But yeah, Mandalorian, all 3 seasons available on Disney Plus. It's too good. It's even though it's like it's falling, the numbers are like. We talked about that last week, right?
Yeah, we did.
The numbers are going down, but so is the numbers for Marvel. It's it's people are getting.
Turns out you can only push so much content.
Yeah, And then comes Kathleen Kennedy talking about the new Star Wars. They're going to make Star Wars an event again. But again, when you make it every week or you make it every month or even every year, it stops being an event. No, it's like, especially the new Rey movie. She's already? Come on. If 15 years after, like, oh, well, if you're going to do 15 years after them, do 15 years after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyways.
Ted Lasso was not disappointing. We finished that season on.
Well,
Apple
before
TV+.
that, let's go to Picard.
Throw that away.
Okay, so Picard, Paramount Plus, Star Trek show, revival, reunion, call it what you want.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
This was solid. All 3 seasons of Picard have been very enjoyable, but this one, like, they really just. It just kept going up and getting better.
I think this one was better than the previous season, the season before. On the season,
I definitely liked 2. I liked 2 better than 1, and I liked 3 best of all.
You know, the whole treatment, the legacy characters, right?
Yeah.
You have the heroes, the classic heroes that come back. You're gonna tell a story, and you're gonna have legacy characters that are gonna receive the torch and gonna keep the torch and move on. What they did on Picard and on the first and second season, I don't think it was a success. It was the third one because that girl on the first season. Remember that girl?
Barely. But
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and on the second season, they had someone from the first season because the girl disappeared somehow, but they got a guy from the first season and they killed him right away.
Yeah.
So, like. Moving on with the story, this one was much better because I think what they did with Jack, what they did with Alondra, and what they did with Sydney, was much better to the point that they might, and even Raffi, because Raffi is not a classic character, right?
She's not. She was introduced in Picard.
Yes.
And like. Very few other characters.
Even
she survived all 3 seasons.
Even the guy, what's his bucket? The Latino guy,
who got
Gabriel?
left behind.
Yeah. He was a good one that they find a way to. Nope, stay in the past with this hottie. And wow, good for him.
Yeah.
And there was this. I think that was it, right? And the girl that becomes a Borg.
A Borg queen, yeah.
Also, can they develop that somehow in the future?
I thought they would, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And I feel like
but
let that go.
But on this one they definitely is set up. It's clear that they could, but they could do a spin-off. They even have like a post-credit scene.
They do. And honestly,
it's awesome.
These characters were so well developed. I feel like in this season, like Jack and Geordi's kids and all the rest, like they were so well developed in this season that I would love to see a spinoff. Usually when they try to do like a backdoor pilot or set things up for a spinoff, it's like, oh no, just let it go. Like I'm not usually that into that. But this could be interesting, following Seven and Rafi and Jack and was it Alondra?
Alondra and Sydney. The girl, the LaForge girls. Yeah. Like
they were set up well enough and convincingly enough on their own, independent of everything else. That I think that would be a great show.
Yeah.
And a great way to continue Star Trek and the whole idea of not Strange New Worlds, but like Undiscovered Country. This whole idea of going boldly where no man has gone before, like something new that we haven't done instead of what Discovery did, which was just like, let's rehash everything that's been rehashed, but in a new way that's not as good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
really good work there.
Yeah, no, and they honor the classic heroes in ways that we see them. They old, they aged, but they, what moves them inside them. It's not like it's very cynical. It's very dark and sad to imagine what the Star Wars sequels that as you get old, you're gonna get bad, you're gonna fall from grace, you're gonna split from your wife, you're gonna devolve, you're gonna abandon your principles,
you'll lose all the growth that you worked so hard for,
which is like one of the beautiful things of the original trilogy. Is like Obi-Wan is the wise, is the great. The older he got, he only got better, And when they did the sequel, they only made that happening, So they only filled the gaps, When you the journey of the hero is like, no, when you get old, the journey of the hero doesn't end. The hero is still gonna be heroes, but it's very cynical to do otherwise, which they did on this one. They got old, they aged, they have some problems that comes, life always will have problems, but they try to overcome, they try to help, and they try to teach new generations and, the principles and the ethics they have. And from beginning to middle of the show, even the problems they have in the beginning of the season and the development in the middle of the season at the end, the way they deal with all that is, is who they are and who they always were. And it honored the characters in a very, very good way. I really liked it.
They did. They really did. And I feel like they kept like the core of what has made Star Trek such an enduring franchise. And it's not just the legacy characters. As fun as it is to see everybody get back together, they kept that core, that there's a lot of like philosophy, there's a lot of like questioning, what are our values, who are we, and how are we going to face this. And then the whole idea of like, we are Starfleet and we are going to save people and we're going to sacrifice if we need to, and we're going to use our brains, and there's like all this great technobabble, but also the core of what makes these characters so wonderful. Picard is a leader. He's a natural leader, and these people trust him, and he finds solutions and brings people together even when they maybe don't want to be. Geordi is creative and just a brilliant engineer, and Data evolves even more. Like, Data's whole thing is evolving from a simple android into a human, and we get to see Data continue to evolve. Something else I loved is we saw how becoming parents changed all of them in like a really interesting and positive way. So yeah, all these characters, they were legacy characters. They're still true to who they were, but they all had growth.
You know, legacy character is right. Legacy characters are new characters.
That doesn't make sense.
But this is how it is. Legacy characters
are backwards.
No, but legacy characters are the characters that will, take to the next generation.
Shouldn't it be legacy characters? Shouldn't that be like the characters who are the legacy?
It's not me. Gosh. It's not me. When you talk about
I know it's not you.
Miles Morales, or
no, Peter should be the legacy. Peter's the one with the legacy.
No,
Miles is new.
No, they are the new characters. They call Ray. They called legacy characters. Which one they
just back all this up? Then.
Not long ago, I got into this whole discussion. I call Miles Morales, for instance. I called him sidekick. And then someone said they prefer to be called legacy characters because they are the legacy. They are what the originals leave as a legacy. They are the new characters. Okay. So
we could have a whole other discussion.
It's not me. I mean,
that makes sense.
Some of them, some new generations, some of them are clearly sidekicks. Like Miles Morales on the video games, he's a sidekick. As he should, because Peter is like, we finally got a Spider-Man game. Peter Parker finally got a good. I mean, they're always been good, but this one is like next generation, the high graphics, expanded universe, all that together, and they right away put Miles there. It's like, that's like good. But anyways.
Okay, so just forget everything I just said. No, when I was saying legacy characters, I was referring to the characters.
The classic heroes.
The classic heroes.
Yeah, I understood.
It was really good,
I understood. If you paid attention, you understood too. Because even though there was a problem on semantics definitions here, but
it was good Star Trek beginning to end.
Yeah,
there were a couple of like fan service moments that were maybe stretched the bounds of plausibility, but that was
like
okay.
What?
It felt, well, that like the whole Enterprise D thing, it was pretty wrecked.
Okay. Oh, but everything can be fixed.
Like I said, I think it's the realm of possibility, but not too much.
I think in that case, stretching was more like fixing Data. Was it more?
Yeah,
because it's
maybe.
about memories, it's about a soul,
Yeah.
on the quotes. When fixing a machine, fixing the Enterprise, it's easier than fixing a soul, to bring back a
Sure.
soul. So
Sure.
you know,
Anyways,
yeah. Either way, it was
it
really good.
yeah, it all
Yeah,
worked, and the ending, it was such a beautiful ending because it
yeah,
called back to the ending of Next Generation, like it was really
yeah.
beautiful. I love
No,
it.
it's so good. It's the type of good that it keeps you wanting more. I was like, oh, but the king go, he loved him, But at the same time, they made sure that there was a new
Yeah.
generation coming there, and
Yes.
uh,
A Next Generation, you might say.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that could be the name of the show.
The next
No,
generation?
no. The Last Generation is the title of the finale.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be.
Star Trek: The Last Generation. But they're already calling. There's like rumors they're calling Star Trek Legacies again. Legacy character.
Okay,
Yeah.
which again is
Yeah.
all, but that's okay. Oh, I got off on the whole like the core of what makes Star Trek great. Even though this season is really like it is dark and it's sad and there's some pretty bleak and hopeless moments. At its core and by the end of it, everything comes together in a very optimistic and hopeful view of the future, and even an optimistic and hopeful view of humanity. Even though the Federation isn't just humanity, ultimately this show is about humanity and what humanity, like Star Trek, is about what humanity can be and what they can accomplish, what we can accomplish, and that's really what was at the core of this season, and why Star Trek, I think, has endured for so long, despite getting canceled after its first 3 seasons back in 1970. So yeah. Anyway, that was just one more little spiel. All good stuff. All 3 seasons are well worth watching, but they definitely ended on top, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
My dad's gonna come visit us from Sweden.
Watch out for watch out for the post-credit scene, because it's
good.
It's like a cycle, it's like poetry, the rhymes beginning and end, and it does they do it very well.
Yeah, in a really exciting way. So
yeah,
good stuff. Picard season 3.
Yeah, so Paramount Plus, all 3 seasons are there.
And a bunch of other just like
there's other Star Trek show. The Next Generation is there. I assume the original show is there. It should be. Come on, if it's their home. If it's not there, someone is doing something wrong. Anyways, moving on to the news section.
We're not going to talk about Ted Lasso?
Oh, Ted Lasso. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a news because it wasn't a finale.
Oh, okay.
So it was just an episode. It was a really good episode. It was very, very. They split the action in like 3 or 4, 5. And they are in Netherlands.
Yeah.
They are off the loss. It's a big loss. They lost against the Ajax, but again, it's the Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
And
but that's in like the first 5 minutes of the episode.
Yeah. And then Ted's like, okay, screw it. You guys have no curfew. You can do whatever you want before we go home. And in Netherlands, they're going to do all sorts of fun things. And it ends up in a very interesting adventures and developments, romance, and fun with friends and family, and some backstory from some characters and windmills. Yeah, it was good.
It was a good episode, and it does what Ted Lasso does really well. Like, the football is almost ancillary to what the show is really about, which is like these characters' emotional growth and development and getting to know and love them. And all that. Some people have some breakthroughs. Some people get a break from just rough times.
And at this point, until the shooting of this episode, it was the highest rated episode of Ted Lasso on IMDb. It was a 9.3.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was good. It was funny. It was fun. It was they're all good guys, so you root for the good guys, and they, they remind you of why, even they are losers on the beginning of the episode. Yeah, everybody wins at the end.
Yeah, it's nice. And also, jumping off of that, Hannah Waddingham, who is the boss, Rebecca, she's got a musical holiday special at Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, so she's gonna sing British Christmas classics or period Christmas classics, and she does know how to sing. She proves that on this episode. And
so good for her. Super Mario Bros.
That last is available on Apple TV Plus. So all 3 seasons.
Is this the third?
Oh, yeah,
that sounds right.
I think it's the last. I think it's supposed to be the last. Yeah.
It definitely seems like they're gearing up towards, like, people are headed towards their happy endings.
Yeah.
Okay, Super Mario Bros. Is still doing really, really, really well, especially for an animated film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It beat all the records for animated film. They kicked Minions. The Minions in the same house. Super Mario kicked Minions in the butt, but also kicked Disney in the butt. Elsa and whoever was in the top is, past now. Mario is the new king, and it had a terrific second weekend. Was the best period for animation and non-animation this year. Even Marvel movies, all the big blockbusters this year didn't have a good second weekend. It had a drop. Mario had a drop, of course, but it wasn't as bad. It was actually good. They got a 92.5 million second weekend. Yeah. Which is a lot of movies' dream to have on the first weekend.
Yeah. Or just like total.
Yes.
That's
a
really good take total for a lot of movies.
And his success was huge. It passed half a billion worldwide. And the 92 is a domestic in the United States.
Yeah.
And the movie didn't premiere in Japan yet. So, and Mario was...
Which seems like they're just doing Japan dirty. Like, this is a Japanese character.
Yeah. It's an American movie. Yeah. It's strategic. You're not going to premiere everywhere at the same time.
I know, but I just feel
because
like
the success in America was like, whoa, everybody in America loved it. They sometimes do that with the movies. They do the other way around. They premiere first in Asia and South America, and then bring to America, and then it's like, wait, wow, and then it helps pump. Not that the Mario needs pump in Japan, but it's gonna get to 1 billion easy. So, yeah.
Yeah, we love to see it. In the meantime, Jack Black's Peaches song from the movie has made it to Billboard's Top 100.
Yeah.
So, good for
that
them.
And the fact that it might be nominated to an Oscar.
Oh.
Peaches.
Our girls were just on YouTube watching a version where they speed up the song every time he says the word peaches.
But he only says peaches.
No, he sings a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
There's other stuff in the verse. Like, with my star, we're gonna rule.
Okay.
There's other stuff. Anyway, so by the end, it's just like, anyway, very juvenile, very funny. The Super Mario Bros. Theme was also just added to the U.S. National Recording Registry.
Yes.
So whatever that means, good for them.
Yeah, it's the first video game to get a song added to that. You have like classic songs, all the classic songs. You have movies. Huh. This is the first video game song.
Okay. That's interesting. There should be a lot more. Michael Giacchino got his start doing video game scores.
Yeah, what he did?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Because I learned that before I was into video games.
Okay.
But anyway.
Oh, there's great talent in the video game industry.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to some showbiz news. The prosecutors have dropped charges against Alec Baldwin for the West shooting.
Yeah.
Which is
odd. Or the Hollywood way of, paying for getting out of their problems. Who knows?
Yeah.
He got away with prejudice, which means he could be persecuted again. So it's not...
so it wouldn't be like a double jeopardy thing?
No. So it's not clear what they're going to mean. If maybe the state going to bring all the persecutors to do it. But I don't know. Knowing the power of money in Hollywood, I think
Yeah.
this is over. It's not going anywhere. So, as the girl, the armorer, I can't remember her name. Anyways,
Yeah.
she was also cleared of all charges.
Yeah. So, anyway, I've tried to alternate like the good and the bad news here. So, in fun news, Prime Video has added a feature that lets you increase the volume of the dialogue without increasing the volume of music and special effects.
Which is a good thing because big TVs are great, but the audio on those systems are kind of like eh. And there's always something I noticed that there's the dialogue part of the audio channels is, if you put in a Dolby setting or whatever, you can barely hear the audio.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I guess it's a problem that the industry is dealing with, and Prime went ahead and
it is
working on
it. Okay, back to the bummer. F. Murray Abraham doesn't just play an old pervert on TV.
Yeah, it's funny because on White Lotus he's like super Joe Biden, super creepy, and it's like ha ha ha, that smell sniffs like Biden. Let me sniff your hair and stuff like that. And I even say, hey, look, it's Joe Biden. Apparently, he's like that in real life.
Yeah, so the fans of Mythic Quest noticed he was abruptly gone from the show, which I just assumed was because of like COVID old man reasons. Nope, it's because of sexual misconduct complaints.
Yeah.
So
he came up and said it was just a joke, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
Either way. To be fired in Hollywood, that how does Obi-Wan describe
as a wretched hive
of common villainy?
Yeah.
To be
Yeah, which honestly, like, respect to Rob and all the rest. If they would have, they'd rather get rid of a star than,
Oh, you listen to the podcast. Those guys, it's like there's a joke on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's basically what they became now, and the joke is it's like I play both sides. Oh, so I get away. If anything. Yeah. So they became that. They know it's a woke moment, it's a woke season. They can do things, and they are super apologetic about episodes they did. I don't know, 10 years ago. It was like, oh no, we couldn't do this nowadays. Blah 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 blah. Get out of here. Anyways, so yeah, of course, I guess there was no way around that.
Yeah, well, and that's not a woke thing. That's a let's not let gross, evil people do their anyway.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. Here's a shocker. Just, you don't want to sit down for this. Netflix is officially shuttering their DVD rental business.
Yeah,
that's right. You still rent DVDs from Netflix.
Yeah, in September they closing the.
Yeah. So rent them now, folks.
Yeah, only Redbox. Is there Redbox out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one at Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, their girls are like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Anyway, it's a novelty now. Anyway, that's not the only thing that's getting closed. Buzzfeed News is closing down.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah. BuzzFeed is really fun for lots of other fun content, but as a news organization, I can never.
Yeah, it's like even the entertainment. It's like, oh, look at what everybody is loving. It's like, come on, guy. Even though you love you. That's everybody.
Yeah. No, when I need a list, when I need a quiz about like choose your favorite grilled cheese sandwiches, and we'll tell you which Disney parent you are. Like that's the quality BuzzFeed content that I am here for.
Yeah.
Anyway, or like listicles about Reddit posts. That's what BuzzFeed is for. Hogwarts Legacy did really, really, really well.
Yeah, the double and plus. The numbers they were estimating, they sold 256% more than initial estimates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, it's a good game. It's really fun.
It looked good. It looked fun. I didn't play it,
yeah.
but it looks gigantic.
It's
on the content of narrative universe and the lore of the based on the books and that universe. It looks very well done.
It truly expands. Like, it's set in that world, but is not riding on the coattails of any of the characters or the books or anything. Like, it's really its own story, just set in the Wizarding world. So they did a great job, and I would not be upset if they made more. Speaking of more, apparently there was supposed to be a Star Wars Battlefront 3.
Yes, and it was 99% done. One of the developers said, and the audiences, the fans, the gamers were robbed.
Yeah.
Because it never came to be.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear, this is Battlefront 3 PC, not the Battlefront for consoles. This is like the OG Battlefront that everybody loved. Wow, it was spectacular. Yeah. But yeah, there was a third one that never happened.
Oh, that's a bummer. Spider-Man and Venom fans rejoice, for these franchises are coming to Disney Plus.
Yes, all the Sony movies are coming to Disney Plus. Still on Marvel's side, the Marvels teaser is the most disliked, hated trailer on YouTube. So now even bringing Kamala, I can't remember her name. Iman?
Kamala.
No, the actress.
Oh, the actress.
Imala?
I don't remember her name.
Anyways, now even bringing Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, and Fortin, Monica Rambeau to join the sequel to make it, yeah, that didn't save, all the toxicity from Brie Larson, and the fact that the first movie wasn't like,
It was super forgettable.
Yeah, and they wanted to be like, it's Marvel Superman. No, it didn't do it.
She did not develop her as a character well. You guys know, we watch all these movies, we watch, like, the superhero thing, like, we get it, we love it, we know it. Her character did not make sense to me. Where she got her powers, why she had power. Like, none of it made sense. It was just really poorly written and developed.
Okay. So, yeah, Captain Marvel is not looking good, and the dislikes of the trailers are a symptom of that. But anyway, moving on.
There are rumors / maybe reports that Adam Driver is in talks to join Fantastic Four.
Yeah, which the rumor says it will be Reed Richards, which, to be honest, I thought he would be a better Doctor Doom. Not that I don't like him, but every character he does is kind of not
dark,
likable. But we'll see. It's like Marvel doesn't want people to like Reed Richards, which it could totally be a thing, because they could go for a version of the character that is, not the dead husband, best friend. He's, this crazy scientist. Yeah. Well.
I don't know. We'll see. They did settle with Victoria Alonso over her firing.
Yeah. The whole firing thing was, weird. And they said because she was promoting a movie, and then someone claimed that because she was in charge of VFX, and VFX on the last movies were bad and they were failing. So either way, she got a win. Yeah.
And overall, Disney had massive losses from last year, from 2022, especially because their big productions, Lightyear and Strange World, did not do well.
Yeah.
Because they weren't that great.
Well, yes. So. Yeah. Well. But if you like Disney and you like Grey's Anatomy, because it's on the Disney Channel, the ABC.
Yeah.
The spin-off Station 19 was renewed for season 7.
Yep. Even Grey's Anatomy spin-offs are immortal. Okay, also speaking of immortal TV series, there's a Twilight TV series in the works from Lionsgate. So, for that.
So going back to the books that made movies, Harry Potter, Twilight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fans have been saying books should be turned into TV series. Like, we've been saying this for ages. Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre are teaming up again.
Yeah, since the split in 2.5 Men several years ago, now they finally back together to another show. Do they have the name of the show there? Was it How to Be a Bookie? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So we're just gonna lean into Charlie Sheen's shady side.
I don't know if he's the bookie or if he's learning to be the bookie.
Maybe. Okay. And The Good Doctor was also renewed at ABC, also for season 7. can't get enough of a good medical drama.
Michelle Yeoh, for a lot of people's surprises, agreed to come back for a Star Trek movie, Star Trek Section 31, a Paramount movie. And it's a surprise because she just won an Oscar.
Yeah.
She's going back to Star Trek. I guess she likes it. And good for the Trek universe, even though the part of the Trek universe she is kind of like, the whole Discovery section.
Yeah, Discovery was meh, but Section 31 hasn't gotten a lot of exploration.
But that's a thing. You see, as they introduced Section 31, it was like so cool. And then they kind of Discovery, they just missed that and made it into there's only 3 people on the ship, Yeah. So let's see. Maybe they're gonna develop that better.
They're also working on. I feel like this is basically Star Trek news. Paramount Plus is working on the Galaxy Quest series.
Yes, and that's good news.
It is, because that movie is so good.
I hope they bring everybody back.
Patrick Stewart watched Galaxy Quest and was like, yes, this is it. Like, these fans, we are who we are because these fans love it so much. And they know it so well, and they created it. Anyway, that's such a good movie. Okay, more movie news. Fast and Furious 11 has been...
X1.
Oh
XI.
Yeah,
they just got a director in Louis Leterrier. James Wan is out, and they're going to get a new director, which means there's more Fast coming.
Yes.
Faster than you think.
Yeah. Godzilla vs. Kong sequel is coming. They dropped a teaser and a title, and it looks like it's coming March-ish 2024.
Yes, it's gonna be called the New Empire, the New Dynasty.
A New Empire.
New Empire.
Yeah.
A new bad guy is coming.
Yeah.
They teased that in the last movie. So,
they did.
Yeah.
They did. These movies are not they're not breaking artistic ground, but they are so fun.
What are you talking about?
They're so fun.
They're visually stunning. They're visually
and I need more from a
well
film.
done. That's a
I'm just
artistic
saying
background.
it's not like
it's not a guy in a suit. It's not a guy in a suit destroying Tokyo made out of cardboard.
Which was great. I don't know. There's just something so compelling about these monsters. Okay, AI is just taking over everything. Someone submitted an AI generated photo to a photo competition, and what happened?
And they won.
Ugh.
So yeah. AI it's here. It's a big thing. It's dangerous for so many reasons, and people that undermine it, undervalue it, is underestimate. It's
Yeah, and apparently we can be duped. Okay, and then we're gonna end with a bit of just pure comedy.
Yeah. Or tragedy, because that only reveals how bad the Amazon Rings of Power is.
Yeah.
I'm one that's been saying since the show first came out, there's a mediocre fanfic.
Yeah.
And apparently,
it might just be. Someone is suing Amazon for $250 million, which is what they paid for the rights, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Because they say that Rings of Power ripped off of his Lord of the Rings fan fiction.
Yes.
So.
And.
Is it true? I don't know, but it's definitely believable.
Yeah, because the show is a fanfic. It's bad. Not that fanfics are bad, but it's a bad fanfic.
Really this is not a good
fanfic. Actually, Twilight, wasn't it?
No. 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey
started as Twilight fanfic.
Yeah. So
there's that.
There's but yeah. So I don't know if this guy wins. Because it would be a testament of come on guys, just give the rights back.
It's just validation.
Yeah. Well. Anything else?
No, I think that's a great place to end.
Yeah. Okay. We're going, but next week we're coming back with more pop culture news. You're gonna see this fighting nun, Mrs.
That's
Davis.
Right, Mrs. Davis looks so
fun.
Interesting.
And other things in pop culture news.
Yeah.
May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.